You can look up all the specs about each pack, and to be honest, I probably should have done that. Time to do a little review. I'm a poet and didn't know it. Time to do a little review of the two Hyperlite packs that I have. One is the Hyperlite Windrider as well as the Hyperlite Unbound. If you followed my journey, I thru-hiked the Appalachian Trail with the Hyperlite Windrider. I didn't change my pack, I stuck to it the entire time. And as you can see, it does have some wear and tear. This pack was the same color as this one right here. And so you know that it's not gonna be the same color by the end of a thru-hike. Why did I buy this pack for the thru-hike? I bought it because of the water resistant material Dyneema, and I'm doing this because if you know my journey, you know that it wasn't really a resistant pack for me, but that was because I realized later on that there was some seam sealant missing at the bottom of this pack, like right down around here, and I checked if this one had it, and the Unbound does have seam sealing, so I anticipate this going to be a lot more water resistant. You can look up all the specs about each pack, and to be honest, I probably should have done that. When I saw the Unbound, I was so excited about the pack. I was like, woo, I'm gonna have like the Windrider 3.0. It's gonna be the same pack, but with some better features. And I was a little bit wrong because I didn't do all the research, and you should go on Hyperlite. Yeah, Hyperlite mountain gear, HMG, and you should look at the different features because, you know, I didn't. So what's the big difference? Okay, so as you can see, well, let's show. The Unbound, and this is the Unbound 55, it's larger, and I'm surprised it's larger because it's essentially supposed to be the same volume, because this is the 3800, but now they renamed it to, I believe, the 55. So if you look up, you know, what different styles the Windrider has, and they now converted this to liters instead of calling it like the, I think it's 3800, 2800, or is it 3400? I don't even remember. They have like, this is probably why they renamed it, because the numbers didn't really make sense to me. But so this would be the 55, and then this is the Unbound 55, but it's a lot longer. I mean, like, it's clearly longer. And I don't think, I mean, I would have to do research about Dyneema. I don't know if there's any sort of shrinkage, but yeah, no. As you can see, the Hyperlite Windrider has mesh pockets, and the Unbound has this other stretchy material, and that's one of the reasons why I was excited about this pack. And then it has a little extra pocket right here where you can grab from the bottom, and that is so cool, right? Like, you don't have to like search, which with this material don't have to search, you see everything, but here you would have to like try to find everything, and so that's why you have this pocket right here. Another reason why I was really excited about this pack is because it has a pocket on the bottom. Woo! And this is supposed to be just for like trash or extra things, and then it has like a little, where is it? It has like a little hole on this side where you can just put some trash in there while you're hiking, right? Like some wrappers and stuff, and you can just scoop it right in there and then later on take it out. So I was really excited about that as well. And overall, I thought that's what was going to be the big difference, and I was excited to get this pack, but with these pockets, right? But no, I didn't. So so there are some things that I was surprised about, and like I wasn't really happy about it, right? So number one, this pack does not have an ice axe loop. Of course I didn't pay attention to it because I didn't need an ice axe loop for the Appalachian Trail, but I will need an ice axe loop or something to carry an ice axe when I do the PCT. So as you can see, the Hyperlite has the ice axe loop, and the Unbound doesn't, so that's very disappointing. Now I can probably carry an ice axe in all kinds of different ways, but I was like, Where's the ice axe loop? I'm so sad. Okay, now the other thing about this pack is it doesn't have the Velcro. And a lot of people hate the Velcro because stuff gets stuck on it. But look, after 2,200 miles, the Velcro still works. I like the Velcro. It gives me a sense of extra closure, but this doesn't have it. What this has is just some more, like some harder material, but there is no Velcro. You like it's open, like it's just open. The other thing is the closures are smaller. They're tinier. Like, it almost feels like these ones are flimsier, or maybe they just were like, okay, let's just make this like really light. I don't know why they decided to make it smaller. Now, I did take this on a hike, and it didn't really bother me in the end. It was fine, but at the beginning I was like, wow, this seems a lot more sturdy than this because with the flimsy things. In addition to that, all the cords, all the strings, they are smaller and thinner as well. And so I was, again, surprised why this would be so much thinner. It just, again, seems so much flimsier. But again, once I did my hike recently, it didn't really matter that much. In addition to that, one of the really great things that I loved about the Windrider was that it had a nice, thick hip belt and a really nice, thick, like, closure. I mean, I loved it. I loved that it was this thick.
That's what she said.
But anywho, the hip belt on the Unbound has the 2 strings, and then of course the closure is the buckle. That's what you call it, a buckle, right? The buckle is a lot smaller as well. Now, at first I was of course disappointed because I loved the thick hip belt, but once I hiked, I really kind of enjoyed this because it does adjust at the different, because you know your hip has like a smaller part and then a bigger part, so I guess that makes sense and it worked out. But just so you know, it's not gonna have the big hip belt. In addition to, one of the things that's different about this pack is that you can actually remove the hip belt and exchange it just in case like your torso size is different than your waist, so that would be really helpful. And then one big thing also is that the frame is completely, like the frame is different. Here you have 2 aluminum sticks that you can actually remove, and this pack has some sort of plastic piece. Editing Julianne here. So I looked at the Unbound frame and I'm actually wrong about the plastic piece, and let me show you. So the Unbound has only 1 aluminum stake, and you can remove this as well. But this is, yeah, just 1. It's not a plastic piece. It is 1 aluminum stake. And then this material right here is probably what I thought was like plastic because it's very thick and it feels like pretty good support. Does it make a big difference for me? I mean, I've only taken this on like a 50-mile hike versus this on 2,200 miles. I would have to take this out longer to see if the frame makes a big difference on how it feels and how it rides. But so far, it didn't really make that much of a difference. So anyway, oh, and as you can see, there are some pockets, but these don't come with the pack, just so you know, in case you're like, why is there all this extra stuff, Raj? Because I'm using this one for my hikes right now, and this one right here is retired and for memories, right? But, you know, I have some pockets, like a thermometer, and so you can just attach them to the daisy chains, and it's pretty convenient. Oh, and of course, some people will be like, why isn't she talking about the pockets? The pockets, yes. So what's really cool about the pockets is that I actually prefer this material for the side pockets over the mesh, just because the mesh snacks on the sides of the trees when you know, like walk in trees, which is what you do on the Appalachian Trail. So this material is a lot better, and it's sturdier and it protects things a lot more. And then of course it has this cingy cord right here, and you can just like pull on it while you have the backpack on, and it's so much more convenient. So also the pocket has a hole right here on the side so that when it rains, the water doesn't accumulate inside, it just flows out. But most backpacks have that, but I never knew this until I had a pack with these kind of pockets right here, right? And then of course these side strings, what are they good for? Well, they're good for if you have a bottle, you can fit it right under, or you can make it tighter, and you can just like fit all kinds of stuff in there. In addition, there's some daisy chains right here. The orange material are more daisy chains where you can hook things in, like if you have your shoes, for example, or you can just take a carabiner right there. All right, you can take a carabiner, and then you can just hook something right in there and hang things off of it. So that's nice. This pack doesn't really have that, but there are a lot of spots on the Hyperlite Windrider where you could hang things on. So yeah, that's the biggest differences, surprises, disappointments. I mean, I'm not really disappointed. I still love this pack, and I really love my Windrider. It's my baby. So yeah, so if you buy kind of like, one of the biggest things that I always thought about Hyperlite, especially before the Unbound, like the Windrider, the Southbound, and the Junction, I always thought they're just exactly the same thing, they just have different pockets, right? So like the Windrider has all the mesh, and then the Junction and the Southwest, they just have, one of them has mesh and then this material on the pockets, and then the other one has this material on all the pockets, so not the mesh. So I was like, okay, they're all the same. So I kind of assumed this would be the same. It would have all the things that the Windrider has, but it doesn't. It's definitely different. So check those things out before you buy it, and kind of choose what works for you. What are the things you need? Would you like to have the thicker strings and the thicker buckles? Or does that not matter to you? And would you like to see all your stuff kind of like visible in the pockets? Or would you rather have them hidden away and then just be searching for everything? I mean, it's up to you. So I know this was a little bit of a mess of a review, but it's kind of like what I would look for if I were to decide between the packs. Again, you can look at all the details and everything that online, and you should, but for me, what were the differences and the things I was excited about, and the things that I was disappointed about. So anywho, I hope this was somewhat enjoyable. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to this channel, please do subscribe. It does help the channel. You hear it all the time. I know it's annoying, but man, in order for us to be able to give you this product and reviews and things like that, all you have to do is like and subscribe, and it helps us. I mean, you don't have to do anything else. So, thank you so much. Have a good day.